Okay, so the roles of the survivor, the aide, and the journalist overlapped because in each role you saw like destruction and devastation and death. Like in the survivor role, you probably saw the most death because it was happening like right in front of you. With the mother losing her children right in front of you. And then the journalist saw like dead bodies lined up in the streets as they were coming in, and then a person being trampled to death. And then the aid worker saw people dead in the streets too. So you saw a lot of death in each of the roles. And then in each of the roles you had to pick decisions that were very difficult to make in the scenarios, and then it was like no matter what option you picked, there was going to be somebody who was getting like screwed over, basically. There was no ideal options for any of the roles. And then the roles were different because they had different levels of autonomy. Like the survivor had the most autonomy because in like their options of what to do, because they were on their own and they didn't have anybody telling them what to do. Or anyone they had to make happy, like the journalist and the aide did. Like the journalist was like trying the whole time to make his boss happy and doing what he wanted, but at the same time he wanted to like help these people because they lost so much. And then the aid worker had to choose between who to help first, and it was difficult because if you got the supplies out quicker to these people, it was messy. People were like rioting and stealing, but if they had like coordinated with the UN, that would take more time, but at the same time the distribution of supplies would have been smoother and more efficient, but then like it would have taken more time, so then more people might have died in the process of waiting. And then the three biggest priorities that I noted from all the roles. The first one would be that you needed to do the job you were there to do, and then try not steer away from your mission, because then you might get distracted and not get done what you were there to do. The second priority would be getting the most supplies to the people that are in the most need. So assessing like the camps and stuff and seeing, which people can actually benefit from the help and the supplies. And then the third one would be that you have to think about the good of the whole country or the whole community, not just one individual group or one person or one camp. Like for example, when the aid worker had to get the supplies out, they chose to get them out quickly, which is good, but delaying the distribution of the supplies would have been better, because then the supplies would have been available to more people, not just this one group. So you have to think about the good of the whole country, not just one person or one group. And then I think that the learning outcome that was met from this assignment would be to apply critical thinking to analyze data and the implementation and promotion of positive health-related behaviors for culturally diverse clients. Not so much the last part of it, but definitely the beginning part, because you had to use your critical thinking skills in this assignment and kind of analyze what's going on in the video as a whole in order to make the best decisions for the most people. And then you had to analyze and assess the environment to see some of the problems that were going on, and make decisions to prevent disease and loss of health. For example, in one clip it showed a water source that was polluted. It had a bunch of rubble and clothes and nasty stuff in it. So the aid worker was saying to like encourage the mothers to breastfeed instead of mixing water with that formula, because then that could cause like diseases from the water. Like there could be like feces or urine, or like even like mosquito larvae and stuff in that water. So you really wouldn't want to drink it. So yeah, I think that would be the learning outcome that was met from this assignment. So yeah.